The San Jose Sharks are shocking the NHL, coming in and being one of the hottest teams over the last 10 games on the back of rookie sensation Macklin Celebrini, many more rookies, and it doesn't even stop there as they have one of the hottest players in the NHL right now tied for the league lead. We're going to break everything to do with the San Jose Sharks in this episode. Before we start, if you're part of the 91% that isn't subscribed and you want to stay up to date on everything to do around the NHL and the San Jose Sharks, make sure to go down and hit that subscribe button. We'll be here all season giving you updates from all around the league. But Casey, let's just hop straight into the fact that the San Jose Sharks are back and are one of the hottest teams in the NHL at the moment. When we're looking at this is over the last 10 games. You can see the top team is the Carolina Hurricanes. They're 8-2 with 16 points. You work your way down. Number 11 in the entire NHL, being 5-3-2, is the San Jose Sharks. They're a top 5 team in the West at the current moment when you look at the last 10 games. What's your thoughts on just the Sharks coming out hot out of the gates in the last 10 games after getting Celebrini back?
Yeah, it's kind of really shocking. I mean, we weren't really expecting this. We always thought, coming into this season that the San Jose Sharks would be one of those bottom feeder teams, but they've had some really great players here that we're going to get into later in this video that's really helped them shape this San Jose Sharks team. When you look at these lines, like they're up on your screen right now, they have the pieces to be a successful team. I'm not saying they have the pieces to be a playoff team this season or anything, but the depth they have with the young talent mixed with the old talent, some new faces in Tyler Toffoli, has really helped this team. But the big factor of why San Jose has been so successful is Mackenzie Blackwood. I mean, that is the big reason. I mean, he's at a 911 save percentage right now with a losing record. He's playing tremendous in the net and keeping this team into some very tight games.
Yeah, I mean, looking at this lineup, like you said, this team is littered with prospects, but also some vets that help them along the way. We're looking at the top line. Granlund's been awesome for this team. Celebrini, who we'll touch on shortly, has been a huge part for this team after coming back from the lower body injury. You could see in the intro video, he scored his first OT winner to beat the Detroit Red Wings. I mean, looking at this lineup, Granlund's been great. Toffoli has came in scoring 9 goals, 6 assists. Eklund is a guy with 15 points. You can work your way down. Even bringing in pieces, the general manager hasn't done an awesome job. Timothy Liljegren has came in 1 goal. He's a +4. During this 10 just kind of streak they're going on, he has been a part of 8 of these games. This is a young team. They're up and coming. We're not going out and saying, hey, they're going to win the Stanley Cup this year. We're not saying, hey, they're going to be a Stanley Cup favorite. But the Sharks are back and they're starting to roll with the talent they have. And it really relies on the fact that Celebrini is back in this lineup and he looks outstanding. The first overall pick in the 2024 draft. If you didn't know that, where were you too? Celebrini has came in and shown the hype. We've seen him playing with Boston University, putting up 64 points in 38 games. He joins the NHL, he goes out with a lower body injury. But during his 8 games, 4 goals, 1 being an overtime winner, 1 assist, 5 points. This is a superstar in the making. He's still only 18 years old, a left-handed shot. He's going to make a name for himself, not only in San Jose, but in the NHL. This is a guy that has a chance to win Rookie of the Year for this team. Casey, looking at Celebrini, is he hitting your expectations or is he going over it on how he's been playing so far?
I think he's hitting the mark right now. I don't think he's over, exceeding expectations. Obviously, he's a first round draft pick that everybody has expected him to dominate when he comes into the league. He's dominated at all forms or all levels of hockey so far in his career. So, obviously dealing with that injury early on in his career sucked for him because he wanted to get off to the gates hot. But I mean, 5 points in 8 games isn't nothing to bat an eye at either. I mean, it's his first year. He's still adjusting to the league. He's on a team that is really, really in the midst of a rebuild right now. I mean, after the Thornton Marlowe era, we expected this to happen. And I think the reason that, Celebrini alongside his teammates are playing so well is there's no pressure on this team. Everybody's saying, let's trade them to San Jose to, let their career die. That's what people are saying at this point. But there's no expectations on this team to do good, and I think that's what's going to play into their favor. They're going to shock a lot of teams. I think a lot of teams are going to take advantage of saying, hey, we got an easy game tonight. We're going up against the Sharks. But then you got guys there like Celebrini, Zetterlund, Granlund, Toffoli, who are just ready to put it in the back of the net at any given time. Jake Wallman has been a guy who's really come out of his shell in San Jose this year. But, alongside Celebrini's success, there has been one that I've really liked, and that's Fabian Zetterlund. This guy has been an absolute beast so far this season. He's got 7 goals, 7 assists. He's also a +7. Yes, +7 on this San Jose Sharks team. He has been, I would say, one of the main reasons this team has been so successful, because every night he's going out there, he's either scoring a goal, he's either getting an assist, he is making plays happen. And when you have young players around there that are trying to show their worth in the league, alongside Zetterlund, it's only going to lead to success. I wouldn't say it's going to lead to long-term success, but it is going to be short-term success. I wouldn't be surprised if we see this team go on a 5-game win streak or even more this season, because I think they have all the tools there. It's just a matter of guys developing.
And I mean, you're looking at this lineup. There's so many names. A guy that's not putting up a lot of points, but has been a huge part of this, is Mario Ferraro. We see him going and playing these top minutes. He's playing with Timothy Liljegren. This is possibly just the defensive pairing of the future. You have 2 young guys, well, still young, in their mid-20s. It seems like Mario Ferraro is a lot older with how established he's been and how polished of a player. He blocks shots, throw hits. These 2 have been outstanding for this team. You work your way through the forwards. Uckland's been awesome. Will Smith looks like he's coming out of his shell. He's looking a lot more comfortable, especially on the line with Celebrini, and this is awesome. Just to see these 2 growing together. They're still both young, 19 and 18 years old. You mix in some of these guys. This is an exciting team that's going to continue just pushing through this season, making exciting games, putting up points, and we're seeing them be a hot team this early on. Mike Grier done an awesome job with his team. We've seen him move out some bad contracts. Meyer has looked okay with the New Jersey Devils, but they got draft capital. Moving on from Erik Karlsson before his huge decline where the Pittsburgh Penguins are stuck with this $10 million contract. Another awesome move. It doesn't stop there either, as we've seen a guy like Colin Graf, who's currently in the AHL. He was the top college pick in free agency just a couple seasons ago, putting up 22 goals, 27 assists for 49 points, going into being a UFA and signing with the San Jose Sharks. And when we look at this graph, and I want to give a shout out to the Sharks Reddit for having this, he is tied for the league leader in points in the AHL, and he's only 22. This Sharks team is poised with so much potential from the young guys currently on the roster. Colin Graf, that seems like a guy that's going to crack this lineup eventually, especially if they start moving people out. And like you alluded to earlier, the goaltending. Mackenzie Blackwood has turned his career around with a .911 save percentage. Vanacek has struggled a bit, but Mackenzie Blackwood has came out of the gates and shown that he is a legitimate starting goaltender in the NHL. 4-5-3 record with a .911 save percentage, but it doesn't stop there, as they have Askarov, a guy that Grier went out, traded for Nashville. Debatably their top prospect currently on this team at the moment. Finally makes it to the NHL after spending some time in the AHL. Askarov is going to be the goaltender of the future. This is a guy to keep an eye on. This is someone that's going to continue to grow with this team. And once again, it doesn't stop here. Where the Sharks have so much trade deadline cap, they can take on contracts. They can take on some projects to try to turn their careers around. We've seen it with Mackenzie Blackwood. We've seen it with guys like Tyler Toffoli wanting to join this team. Not saying he is a project, but it's a guy that they paid to bring in that could be a trade deadline piece. Granlund's another name. Wenberg's another name. This team has so much to work with. Draft capital is going to continue. The prospects are going to continue to pile up. It's just a matter of time before we see the San Jose Sharks at the top of the standings. It might not be this year. It might not be next year. But the Sharks are trending in the right direction. Sharks fan, be excited for this team. You're going to get the golden era of guys like Patty Marillo and Jumbo Joe back, where they're going to sell at the arena and they're going to start making pushes for Stanley Cups. But Sharks fans watching this, we just wanted to go down and leave a comment on what got you into San Jose Sharks hockey. Who's your favorite player? What's your favorite moment all time from this team? But if you want to keep up to date on everything, make sure to go down and leave a like, subscribe, comment. We'll be back tomorrow with another video, so keep your eye out for that. But I've been your host, Mark, with my co-host, Casey, and take care.